So, Brian, how do people do deals even if they don't have big down payments or no down payments? You're watching a segment from a Freedom Mentor live stream. Join us for our next live event. Go to freedommentor.com/live.
I'd start by saying what sets us apart is what we can do to add value to a deal to get one done. So first and foremost, you need the right training. You need the right know-how, what Devin mentioned earlier, the right tools in the toolbox to be able to solve problems. So the question of, can I do this without any money? Well, if you're trying to jump on MLS and do a traditional investment deal, no, that's not going to work. If you're able to identify motivated sellers, you're able to present creative offers, solve people's problems, absolutely you can do it. And in some cases, you get paid to take over their problem. So I think that's where you start. You have to have, as we said earlier, a wide array of skills so that you have the ability to solve people's problems and add value.
Brian, we just did an interview with a graduate of our apprentice program. And again, a graduate, y'all, is somebody that's made over $500,000 net profit with us. And we asked her, we said, what's your most memorable deal? And she goes, well, that's easy. That's the seller that paid me $40,000 to take his house. That's true story, y'all. $40,000 to take his house. He gave it to her. And oh, by the way, here's $40,000. This is how bad I want out of my house. She ended up making.
Well, to add in there, Phil, if you remember, she said actually another investor he had talked to wanted him to pay 100. So 40 was a bargain, and she was
So he thought he was ripping her off. Yeah, that is the best part. Yeah, good call. Devin, what are your thoughts on this subject of money and doing real estate?
I think what not a lot of people talk about, Phil, is yes, there are different techniques that you can use to do deals without your own money. What nobody else talks about is the money you need to get to the deals, right? So you should absolutely have money for marketing, because the rubber meets the road when you have the right marketing in place to attract motivated sellers. Yeah. From there, getting a good deal under contract does not cost you anything. Knowing what to do once a good deal is under contract is where you can make money without having to put your own money into the deal. So this is a business, and I want people to really understand this. This is a business. You need marketing money. Not a lot, but you do need marketing money to get to your first deal.
Yeah. We have been coaching and mentoring real estate investors for 20 years. In fact, some of America's most successful investors got their start with us. Here's what our apprentices have to say about working with us.
Freedom Mentor was probably one of the biggest blessings I've had in my life.
For us, it's been life-changing, hands down. Couldn't even think about not doing this, right? And what a missed opportunity if I had not done it.
And you can be next. Learn more about our program in the top right corner. Yeah, so that distinction that Devin and Brian are talking about is this is when you're working directly with an off-market seller. If you're hiring a real estate agent to help you identify an on-market listing or foreclosure, you're gonna need money. There's just no way around that.
Yeah.
When you're working directly with sellers, you can structure deals that may not require money, or in the case of our graduate, she got $40,000. I want to add to this discussion something so important about real estate, which is unique and different than a lot of other businesses. So my 11-year-old son has really gotten into trading soccer cards, and he went to some card show the other day, and he sold one of his Lionel Messi cards for like $1,400. He's a wheeler dealer. He's a better negotiator than I am. And this kid's 11, right? So he's like, Dad, I need to set up a bank account. He hands me, like $1,600 the other day. He's like, come on, Dad, I need a bank account. So he has to own that Lionel Messi soccer card. He has to own it. And in fact, he got it graded, and when it got signed, he has to have full possession of it. He has to have an authentication certificate that he owns that card. And that's what gives him the right to sell that card to this card dealer. In so many other things in life, you have to own it before you can sell it. Real estate, what you need is a contract. As soon as you have this piece of paper that has the signature of the seller that they're willing to sell and the signature of you that you're willing to buy, and you have the correct terms that make it a bona fide contract, at the moment you have that piece of paper can be worth $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 before you've ever put any money into the property. Well, okay, you might need to give the seller $1 earnest money. If you're in Louisiana, you don't have to. Okay, but we're talking about essentially no money, a piece of paper. That's where the value is created. But what Devin is sharing with you is to get to the point where you have $100,000 piece of paper. You need to know what you're doing. You need to have spent some money to find that person. You need to have spent some money on your education and your training to know what to say to that person, to have the right contract, to be able to communicate the terms of that contract, to be able to do that deal. When you have that wisdom, when you know what to do, then yes, you can make a lot of money in real estate without, quote, putting money down. But I'll tell you this too, and Devin, this is something we talked about on a more recent deal you just did. When you can build up to the point where you have money, not only for marketing, but you've got enough money to put into giving sellers some money to move out, oh, the number of deals you can do just grows exponentially. Sometimes a seller just needs $10,000, just $10,000. You get that $10,000 with them, they move out, and you have a deal you can make $50,000, $100,000 on.
Absolutely.
So, I love the topic. As far as grants, I have run through that subject so many times, and it's so insanely rare. And anytime you get money from the government, assuming you can get money from the government, it comes with a lot of strings attached. Focus on doing private deals directly with sellers. Avoid getting the government involved. Usually it's a local government agency. It's miserable. It takes 12, 18 months. You never get the money, and it's a new administration gets elected. And next thing you know, all that time has been wasted. I can't tell you the number of stories that come through on that. In fact, one of my family members working on some massive deal with some tax credits and did it for 2 years, spent over $200,000 in due diligence and nothing, goose egg. I told him from the beginning, don't do it. Waste of your time. But look, if you want to waste your time, work with the government. It's a good way to do it. Would you like to be coached by me and my team? Every successful real estate investor has a mentor. Discover how you can be mentored by us through our apprentice program by clicking above.